But what do you think, Tania, what will happen now with the Conservative movement? Do you think this will only just embolden, voices like ours to keep speaking out?
I think it will embolden them. I think, look, as cruel fate will have it, Charlie Kirk, the very symbol of vitality and youth and America's aspirational youth, will be forever young. And I think it's such a tragedy, and it's got to be said, because, it's hopes dashed, so much potential, unrealised potential with him. I mean, there was talk all week, in the last few days that he could have been, potential president down the track. So it is such a tragedy. And I think it's going to take not just days and weeks and months, but a very long time for particularly young people, but Conservatives as well, to come together again. And they will come back and remain emboldened. And I think Turning Point, his own organisation's come out and said they'll continue to spearhead the legacy that Charlie Kirk had and continue to talk to young people. And it's so important that political discourse is not stifled as a result. That's the bigger issue.
I agree.
Will people stop rallying? Will people stop coming together and talking on issues? The worst thing we could see happen out of this is that everyone goes back indoors, stops communicating, stops talking, because what he did was so important for young people, and particularly for aspirational America.
We can't be silent about this, as simple as that. The left love to silence debate, will certainly not be silenced. Now, look, let's talk about the opposition leader Susan Lee sacking Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price this week for her comments on Indian migration and for failing to endorse her leadership. David, did she have any choice? Did she do the right thing?
Well, she did have to sack Jacinta, as tragic as that is. And your latter point was the reason why she was sacked. I mean, yes, she said the wrong thing, and the apology was half-winded. But when Jacinta unfortunately said the leadership of Susan Lee is a matter of the party room, that's like saying that the coach has the full confidence of the board, or yes, I'll respect you in the morning. I mean, that's the last line you make in that position. Now, I think that she'll be back. And I think that Susan Lee wants her to come back at some stage. She's too much of a vote magnet. But, I think Jacinta's big problem this week was her failure to endorse Susan Lee as the leader of the Liberal Party. I think everything else she could have batted on through.
Well, I just think that Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price, Tania, is a true leader, and I think she's one of a small handful of politicians who says it like it is. And that's why I think a lot of Aussies do like her, because she's got a backbone, she's got a spine, and she stands up for Australian values. But what do you think happens next year?
Well, Jacinta is somebody who's so incredibly authentic and really does connect with ordinary Australians. And I've seen her at some events, and people love her. They love talking to her. They do connect with her. And look, she's got 10 times more followers and supporters than Susan Lee. What does that tell you? I think this is a problem for Susan Lee, and I think the way she handled this week was a problem too. She had the opportunity to apologise to the Indian Australian community straight away. She didn't need to wait for Jacinta if that was the real issue for her. I think her statement of having a Melbourne Cup filled of reasons as to why she got rid of Jacinta was appalling. The fact that she put the issue about the Indian Australian community, but then also she was offended as well. Well, which issue is it that you're sacking Jacinta Price on? Which one? And the problem for the Liberal Party right now is she was invited to be part of the Liberal Party, Jacinta Price. She's an asset. They've got to manage this and provide the necessary support they need to keep her going, because otherwise I think Matt Canavan and the Nats are going to welcome her back with open arms. I think they'd love to have her back in the National Party. The National Party, we know, allows a lot more independent thought and discussion than the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party seem to be wanting to follow the Labor Party's playbook, and that is about stifling debate and keeping people silent.
And that's it. I don't think the Liberal Party knows what they stand for right now. So, well, she's on the backbench. She can say whatever the heck she wants, and I'm sure that she certainly will. She will. Yeah, absolutely.